Hannah, I got an email from someone that wants to know when we're going to show them one of your quilts.
But the thing is, Donna, I've never made a quilt, and I don't really know where to start.
Well, let's get started. Hi, it's Donna Robertson.
And Hannah Johnson.
And we are going to talk about beginners getting started with their quilt patterns. First of all, Hannah came to work for us just about a year ago.
A little over now.
And did you have any sewing experience when you started?
I have a little sewing experience, not quilting. I made a dress with my mom when I was like 12 or 11 or something. And then I've made a handful of kind of accessories for theater and costumes. But the extent of mine is, can I hot glue it? The answer is not always yes.
I don't think I would hot glue a quilt together. Okay, so you really are ready to start quilting now.
I think so.
She's been around quilting for about a year. It usually rubs off on people a little bit faster, Hannah, but let's get started. First of all, Fabric Cafe has 10 different books. And those books all have 8 patterns, and each pattern will enlarge to twin or king queen, as well as we have over 100 individual patterns. But you know, some of these are a little bit harder than others. So we've created a beginner's guide to pattern selection. And this is going to have the beginner quilt pattern recommendations that we have. This is a free goodie from Fabric Cafe, so you can go to our website and download this and follow along. And these are the different patterns that we recommend, and they're sort of in order of progression, so you'll learn something new with the different ones. Now over here are 3 yard quilt terminology, so that you can learn some of the things the language that I use whenever writing the patterns. So the first thing I would do is have you go and pick one of these patterns that you would like to use for your first pattern.
Okay. Now, Donna, I noticed It's a Snap is not on this list, and I was kind of looking at that one for my first one.
Well, It's a Snap is not hard, but I don't recommend it for a first-time quilter. And the reason is because there are various pieces and parts that are put together so that you actually have lots of different finished blocks. So it could be a great second or third quilt, but I recommend that you pick a different one. So let's go and pick out a pattern, and let's pick out a focus fabric. And we'll talk about that as well, because every quilt starts with a focus fabric. We give you a black and white diagram like this. We will give you 3 boxes, and the polka dot represents your focus fabric. It's going to be in your largest square. So you should pick out a focus fabric, and then we will talk about how do you coordinate the fabrics for that. We will pick out a kit today so that Hannah can make her first quilt. Okay, which quilt did you pick?
So I picked Checkmate.
Okay, well tell us why.
Well, I thought that it looked like a very accessible quilt for a beginner. It's got a nice big long strip, so that's minimal cutting. And then this is strip pieced. So that's one thing I do know about strip piecing from looking at patterns here. Even though I haven't done it, I still know about it. And this is all strip pieced, so that is also a really simple way for a beginner to start, so you're not making multiple different strip pieces or different types of units.
Great. All right. So let's talk about that pattern. We're going to show this. Well, first of all, show them what you picked out.
I picked this fabric for the focus because I thought it was really fun. Yeah, we'll turn it this way so our flowers are the right direction. And it's got such nice little colors in it, lots of different colors to play with, which I thought was really fun.
You know what's really cool too, you may not have even thought about this, but this is a directional fabric. And directional fabrics can be kind of tricky, but it's not tricky in this pattern because you're just cutting one wide strip. So that's another reason why this particular pattern, Checkmate, is not that difficult to do for the first one. Here's a picture with got trains on it. But this is your actual pattern with your focus fabric. It's cut the width of the fabric and then trimmed to the correct size. So that was also a good fabric for that. And when you're a beginner, you don't have to worry about whether it's directional or not. You don't want to buy a directional fabric the first quilt and get home and realize all of my flowers are going to be going every which way.
Yeah.
Okay? All right. So have you thought about any colors that are going to go with this?
Well, I'm not entirely sure. I see a lot of pink, but I don't really know what I would pick for my whatever my third fabric is.
Okay. Well, let me point out whenever you are selecting your fabric that some of the things that you'll want to do is to kind of squint at your fabric and see what really stands out. And she caught it right away that pink really does stand out. The aqua stands out that's in the background. And I also, what do you think another one is that really stands out?
Well, they've got this bright yellow or this green.
Okay, so you can see there's a lot of different colors. Why don't we go over here to the fabric shelf and see what we can find to go with it? Okay, my first choice would be probably the aqua. Or maybe the pink, but I don't see a pink just off the top of my head that looks like it's going to work. So let's go over here and start looking at the aquas. Well, that was fun.
Yeah.
Did you enjoy it?
I did.
Right.
I like picking out fabric and looking at colors, and this one's so bright and colorful that it has a lot of things you can pull.
That's right.
So
Makes it really easy.
Yeah.
But you know, even though it has a lot of different colors, we're going to find two that look the best. So I see right on the top of your stack is a pink.
Yep. Well, we talked about that earlier, and I really think the pink is what pops the most. That's what I see first when I look at this piece of fabric.
So what I always do is I try to pick out a fabric and put it with there for my number 2 fabric or my number 3. It can be either one. So it could be that she might pick out a lighter color that would be the number 2 fabric, because it's always focus and then 2 bolts of fabric, and you'll pick a light and a dark with those other 2. Okay, and I see you did pick an aqua, so tell us about that.
Well, you mentioned all of the aqua pieces in the fabric, and I do think that that shows up a lot as well. So I found this one and I thought it was cute.
That is nice. So what do y'all think? You like the pink and the aqua as her first 2 choices? Let us know in the comments. But let's keep looking at her stack too. All right. So now you have a green.
Do.
And that really picks up this green in here.
Yeah. Now that these are all next to each other, I'm leaning towards this one might be my favorite, because the teal's nice because it complements it, but this really pops next to it.
I kind of agree with you. That is really nice. So, is it the aqua or is it the green? That is a good choice. So you think this one is better over than that one. So we're going to put this over here as a possibility, and we'll X that one. Now see, you have a purple too. Now why did you pick out this purple?
Well, the purple is very understated in this pattern, but it does have, if you look really closely, it has tiny little accents of purple throughout.
That's a good point, but you know, I really didn't say. It's like you said, it's a little bit, I didn't see it because it was kind of understated. So more than likely, if you made a quilt with this, this would be what you see when you looked at the quilt. That's all you would see is that purple, because it is it's overpowering.
That makes sense.
With that.
Yeah.
So, and I don't really like it with that pink either.
No, it kind of makes it, although this is a really fun fabric, it kind of takes it down.
Yeah, and it's a beautiful fabric, but it's like these are not complementary at all. Like, okay, we're going to X that one. All right, now you have some gray here. Wow, there's gray in there too.
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't see the gray, and I didn't see this, and that's probably a tip too. You can look in here and see different colors, but are they dominant enough that if you stand back and squint, do you even see those colors?
Yeah,
it's a good way. I squint a lot whenever I'm picking out fabric.
Just stare at the shelves.
It's a magnificent tool that you don't have to buy. There's just something about squinting, and then you can see the shades kind of vary. All right, so maybe not.
Yeah, I think no.
It's just kind of down too.
Yeah.
Okay, let's put that over there. Okay, now here's a bright teal, so that's not going to bring it down.
But you know what? Now that I'm looking at it with all of it, I don't like it.
It's kind of a different.
It's slightly
kind of a different shade of teal in such a way that it's almost too bright with this dark.
Yeah, and it's the polka dot is so bold. Whereas it actually has tiny little polka dots in some of the leaves, but it's very delicate. This is a very
dominant.
Powerful, yes.
So it's sort of overpowering the others.
Yeah.
And this has a little more of a, probably a dark, like a black or something like that, that's bringing it down in the, let's see what we've got here on the color. These little dots that are on your selvages, that's another way for you to see what they've used to print with. And so you can see this combination of colors is in your fabrics. And it's probably that gray that is just overall bringing it down. They're not using crisp, clear colors. This one is a beautiful set. This is a beautiful fabric, but this one's a crisper, brighter, clearer fabric.
Yeah, it doesn't quite meld together.
Okay, so
They're not the
these
right
are the
colors.
two, and y'all can continue to tell us what you think, but these are the three that Hannah is leaning toward for that particular quilt. Now, this is a pretty combination, so we're going to put this up here. Now, this is again where you're going to squint. Where would you use fabric 1, your focus? It's right here. Now, you've got these two. Which one is going to be your number 2 and which one's going to be your number 3?
I think this is the number 2.
I would agree. And then this would be your number 3. But I would like to suggest that for your number 2 or your 3, I'm not sure what we're going to find, I'd like to go back to the drawing board and find a second color for one of the fabrics to be a little green and a little pink, both in the fabric.
Yeah.
So let's go look and see if we can find that, because I think it'll add even more interest.
Okay.
Are you game?
Yeah.
All right, let's go. Well, that was fun, and I think you picked out something really cool, so let's look at it.
Yeah.
Show us what you got.
So we found this bolt on the shelf. Sometimes you have to look at your shelves a couple times before you find the one, you know?
It was hiding in there with all the other fabric we have.
Yeah, we have a pretty big fabric stash here, so sometimes you gotta dig deep. So we found this one that has nice little pink and green spots in it, and it has this nice white in it, which I think really lifts the whole kit.
Yeah, it makes it crisper.
Yeah. So we have, this is our number 1, all our pretty flowers. We have this fun polka dot with our green and pink. And then we have that pink polka dot that we showed earlier.
I love it.
Yeah.
You did so good.
Thanks.
That is awesome. So is this, you want me to show them how to make it? 'Cause
I think so.
We did get some pieces and parts put together. Now, she's not quite there. She hasn't done these, but we got some pieces and parts, so let's show those. And then we will show you about that particular kit.
I'll get on this side so Donna can
okay.
drive, because
So remember I
knows how
said
to
it
do
was
it all.
super easy to do this quilt? That's because the first thing that you're going to do, you're using a directional fabric, and it's no problem that you use a directional fabric. You're going to take this fabric and you're going to cut the full width of the fabric. See how I have the selvages at both ends? And then you're going to trim this down so that it fits on here. You'll cut your selvages off of each side and cut it the length that it says in the pattern. This will, we're going to fold this under so you don't see that. This will fit right like so. And then you also do the strip piecing like this that has the number 2 and 3 sewn together, and you will cut from the end, you will cut units. Units look like this, and we always refer to them as units. If there's more than one unit, it'll be an A or a B, etc. So we now have units. I'll give you that. And those units are going to be here. Now look again, here's your light, here's your dark, here's our light and our dark. So we will put it here. And we still have the seam allowances on this, so they're a little bit bigger than the background. But is this not cute? We'll get rid of some of that background color. And I think this is adorable. I think it's absolutely wonderful. You did a great job.
Thanks.
So is this the first one that you want to make?
I don't think so. I think I have my eye set on another one.
Oh, would
But
you like
first,
to? Yeah.
we should show them the kit information.
Oh, well, that is cute, and I might just make this one myself. That's okay. So these are good even if you're not a beginner.
Yeah.
Okay, so tell them about the kit.
The kit number is 8021695 Sunshine Floral using the pattern Checkmate. And that's available as an individual, or it's available in the book Quilts for Kids.
That's great, but why didn't we call this Hannah's first pick?
Well, because
it didn't make sense
yeah,
at the time,
I guess not.
Okay, well, what is going to be Hannah's first pick?
Let's find out.
All right, we'll be right back. Well, she did it. Now she's going to have to convince me that she's going straight to this quilt. So what did you pick?
I picked stepping stones. So we're going to come over here. I'll show you. We do have this fabric available if you're interested. It's called Nana's Red Poppies 2. I really like the shape of this one. I like the design, the movement. And it does come a couple down the list in the beginner's patterns, but it is on the list.
It is on the list. So you could jump in there right away. That's right. You could jump in there if you're very confident, like Hannah is super confident. So, you know, but we've got pieces and parts to share.
We do.
Okay.
And I didn't make these, so I can't take credit for them. But I can show you how they work. So first off, you have just a block of your focus fabric, and that goes here. John, would it be better if I move down here?
Oh, you're good there.
All right. And then you make 2 strip assemblies for this one. So it's just one more strip assembly. It's not that bad. You make one long one with a smaller piece of your number 3 fabric and your number 2 fabric. And then you cut that into units just off the end.
Good. And where's that particular one going to go?
That one goes here, but I should have shown you the other piece first. I should have shown you this one first.
You're not going to make that one first.
Right.
Okay, good.
I did it backwards, still learning.
That's right.
And then you make another strip assembly where you have your number 3 in the middle framed by your number 2. And you just cut your units off of that. And that becomes your middle piece. And then you just have these 2, which are going the same direction now, and all you do is flip it to put it on either side of this, and it makes your stair step.
Awesome.
Yeah.
So I think you understand that. It's just a tiny step forward to making 2 strip assemblies instead of the one that we showed before.
Yeah.
Okay, so are you going to use that fabric?
No, I think I want to pick something new.
Something new.
Something new and fresh.
Okay, so she wants to go to the sample bin where we've purchased samples that we're making quilts in the future. So, should we show that too?
I think so.
Okay, let's go and pick something like that out, and we'll be right back. Okay, that was fun, and she did pick out some gorgeous fabric. You see, we buy sample fabrics that just a yard or 2 so that we can make quilts, but this fabric is not in yet. It will still be a little way out.
Yeah.
But let's show them what you picked.
So I picked, I really like watercolor, and there's so many beautiful watercolor fabrics, and this one has a really bright, cheerful sunflower, and then it has this fun paint splatter effect. I do a lot of painting, and so that really spoke to me. And then it has this really pretty dark green watercolor splattery kind of effect, really pretty. So in the quilt, This fabric will be in your block. This will be your second fabric, which is the background. And then you'll have your green and the border and in your steps, which is gonna really, this is gonna really make these two pop, I think.
Well, I think it's gorgeous. What do you think? Give us a comment and say, she did a good job. Be sure to, you know, encourage her because she is a beginner.
Yeah.
So when would you like to start this quilt?
Well, I'd like to start it fairly soon because...
Now, you do know that we're going to watch every step of the way. Wouldn't you like to see how she's making this quilt? If you want to see this quilt, yeah, it'll be okay.
You'll be with me through the whole journey.
That's right. Now, they're going to have to wait a little bit,
They will.
If they want to buy this particular fabric, and they can click and order it now, but they'll click.
Well, they can't order it now, but we do have this handy feature where when you, we'll show you the kit information. When you go to this kit, you can, there's a button that says, email me when this is in stock. And so then as soon as we get this fabric in and it goes online, you'll get an email notifying you and you can go in and buy it.
That is great. And then what we will do is we will start working on the video series of Hannah Makes a Quilt, and we will give you time to order the fabric after it comes in if you want to stitch along with Hannah.
Yeah,
so
come join me.
That'll be great. All right, well, keep watching when Hannah makes her first quilt. It's Donna Robertson.
Hannah Johnson. Don't forget to click subscribe and hit that bell for notifications when we put up new videos.
Thanks for watching.